Hello and welcome to this Jane's Weather Update. It is Friday, the 4th of October. The year is absolutely racing by. Today we have a strong cold front moving across the southeast of the country. We have got all of this cold air in through here, but that's not quite making it to the mainland. There will be a lot more cold air to follow early next week. This will slowly make its way up through here. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of wet weather activity happening over in the west. So let's have a look at what has happened recently. So this is in the past week. We had the big system move up the east coast in through here, right into Queensland as well. It did miss parts of here as it came in, but the big falls here were earlier on. There's been a lot in through here, a lot down in through here, and a bit across South Australia. Let's go back to the month. So having a look at September as a whole, and you will notice that we're still missing the rainfall through these parts here. So what I'm pointing out here is the eastern parts of South Australia that are just inland, and also the northwestern part of Victoria, the southwestern part of New South Wales. So incredibly dry still through those parts. Otherwise, we have had some nice rainfalls for the rest of it, and a lot of activity through the interior. And that is the start of seeing that come down into the south and produce those good falls that we need. We haven't had a lot of that over winter, but it is now starting to deliver for some parts in spring. Okay, let's have a look at our rainfall maps, and these are now quite different. So we will head back up to the top here. Here is first of all the current weather map. Here is our strong cold front that's coming through. High pressure out to the east, so quiet conditions in through southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales. High pressure way back off the map in through here, so cooler air moving into the southwest. But this here is the main feature. High pressure, it is split, so we have connection to that tropical moisture, and it can deliver big rain wherever that low pressure actually goes. But it is skipping some parts, including the northwestern parts of Victoria, missed out once again overnight as that came through. Okay, let's go the total for the week. These are our AI forecast maps, our rainfall maps. I have been giving a bit of a sneak peek over the past weeks in through here, and now some of them are live on the site. So you head to janesweather.com, we go to Jane's Update, which you click this one here, and you click on rain, and that's how you can see those. If you are a paying subscriber or on our free trial, they are sent to you every Monday and Thursday morning too, so that you can keep up to date, and just reminders that the new data is there. Thank you for the feedback coming back. We are going to make the outline of Australia a lot darker. Nick is working on that. We'll also have the state lines, the borders there darker too. I'll be fixing the logo. We'll also make this a little bit clearer to understand. Still in technical talk at the moment. The interesting thing is taking it from your dev team that understand the tech to the front end, what you guys get to see, and making that so that people can understand what it means. And the whole point of Jane's Weather is this is not meant to be purely technical. It's great information, but it's meant to be easily understood by as many people as possible. So this here will mean it'll be from the AI forecast, and this will be in Australian Eastern Standard Time, so you can see when it was actually updated rather than UTC time. Anyway, what we have here is from Friday morning through to next Thursday in the evening. So it's the total rainfall for that period of time. We've got activity coming down in through the west once again. We've got this moving up the coast once again. We've got activity all through the southeast, but again, not really extending further inland. So that's our week as a whole. Let's go day by day. We'll start with day one, which is Friday. You can see it up through there. So this is essentially midnight to midnight. It's about 10 p.m. in Australian Eastern Standard Time, but it's your day as a whole. So this is the system moving through. It didn't deliver much as it came in through here. The main activity is in this band here this afternoon. Showers and the potential for severe thunderstorms, damaging wind gusts, also heavy rain leading to flash flooding. There may be some hail in it as well. So this is an active system as it comes through. On the map, you saw how close the isobars, those lines, are together. So it does bring strong winds with it. We have the showers coming into the southwest with that high pressure system well off the coast. So that's our activity for today. Heading into Saturday, another cold front comes into the southeast. Here is that cold front still moving through, so into New South Wales and Queensland, but clearing out of the west there, a little bit more activity over in the west. Heading into Sunday, yet another cold front is coming in through here. It's the remains of Saturday's one, but this now not very much left. So Saturday is more the day that is coming through as you're moving into northeast Queensland and southeast, northeast New South Wales and southeast Queensland. Okay, so that's Sunday. Heading into Monday, another cold front crosses the southeast. And this is the one that has the colder air in behind it, a break for the southwest, but more activity starting to build over the interior. Heading into Tuesday, Starting to see that break in the southeast. This is high pressure coming in. This will have frost in it once again because the last system had cold air. I'll show you that more in a sec. This is moving into the coast here. So Tuesday, Wednesday and through here. Let me go back up to Tuesday. Lots of activity starting to build and to gather momentum over in the west as we go into Wednesday. And then Thursday, here's the next system coming across that may have some sort of impact moving further north as we go in through there. But there's all of that activity on the coast as we move through, particularly the middle of next week. All right, so here are the maps. We don't have access to these on our public site yet, but this is a bit of a flavour of what is still to come. So what I'm going to do here, over on this side, you've got control of what things you actually want to see on the map. I'm going to put snow level thickness. Now, in winter, that's a great way to determine one of the ways to determine how low the snow is going to fall. But overall, it tells us about what the temperature of the air is, the air mass that is moving through. This can be really important. In summer, when you've got this bright red area coming right down into the south, that is a 40-degree day. So we'll be showing you that on the maps as we move into summer, so you can see where those bursts of hot weather are. At the moment, very much confined up into the north. But let's look through here. We are on Friday, the end of the day. I've got rain daily. Let's move through one. We've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So nothing overly cold there, but here, let me just turn the rainfall off so you can see. Here we have, and I'll just zoom right in. So these are now turning more blue, indicating that we have colder air in through there. So this is snow down to 1,200 metres, snow down to 1,000 metres in Tasmania. So not as cold as it would be in the middle of winter, but what I'm trying to point out here is there is cold air in behind this system. And if we are to move through hourly, let me just put the temperature on there. So here we are in the early hours of Tuesday morning, and have a look here. So this is getting into our frost risk concerns. So definitely in Tasmania, but all up and through here. Missing most of the rain in the inland through all of the cold fronts that come through across the weekend that don't have that connection to tropical moisture, and then frost does follow. So here we have the early hours. Look at all of that cold air spreading out because we've got this cold air from the thickness value in through there. So that is into Tuesday morning. That is our next big frost concern. Okay, let's have a look at overall across the weeks. This is from the Euro model. This is for next week, so starting on Monday, the 7th of October, for the week going forward. And this shows it is likely to be drier than average through all of these eastern areas. Maybe not southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales, more on the 50-50 and a bit of activity there. But yes, we saw another big rain system brewing over in the northwest there, which this is picking up on. So that's for week one. Let's have a look at what that means in terms of temperature. A lot of red there. It is confined, the super hot part is confined to the northwest, but we're starting to see it coming down, whereas this here is more of a cold feature. We saw that coming through on Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday, Melbourne, top temperature about 14. That kind of puts it into perspective as to what we're heading into here, and all of that is going to make its way right up the east coast. When we get to our forecast for going around the country, you'll see just what I mean by the chill that's coming in there. All right, let's go into week two. So this is beginning on Monday, the 14th of October. Here we go. Drier than average for these parts of Queensland. But this here is a lot of 50-50 and slight shades of green. So another system brewing in here that may be able to sweep down. That's what we might have on the horizon there. Let's have a look at the temperature that goes with that one. Here we have Monday, the 14th of October, that week, so week two. We've got cold here, which would be associated with a rain system coming in, and we've got hot weather out ahead of that system before it comes in. So that's what we're looking at in terms of week two. Let's go further afield and have a look at what's happening over in the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean Index, it was going down, 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 down. Sound like an ad for a supermarket. And then it has just kicked up at the very end there. This is just one little tweak in it. We would suggest that it will continue moving down, down, down as it goes in. This is 1, 2, 3 models that are well across that threshold. 4, 5 that are right on that threshold, one that is very close, and this one, the Australian one, that is not having a bar of it and likes it just to stay quite neutral. So all of this guidance is suggesting moving into here, just this one that is the outlier, but no, it is nowhere near the northern part here. It is just firmly neutral. we're definitely on this side of the neutral line at the moment anyway. So yes, we are seeing that ocean is finally doing those things. We've been talking about it since what, February, March, earlier this year, and so now we are seeing it actually happen. So yes, it did happen late August, September. That's when we started to head in this switch, which was what the models were suggesting. It was always a long way away. So that's what we have. This would suggest that we're heading into a weak La Nina potentially, and it doesn't last very long, as they always do. That should kick out of that as we go into the early part of next year. But the effects of this will be felt right through to potentially the start of autumn. So this indicates to us that the Pacific Ocean is likely to push more than average moisture in the way of Australia. More moisture to play with means that when those low pressure systems move through, it can turn that into greater than average rain. So this is talking about the moisture source and the push towards Australia to help our rain along as we go through the rest of spring and through summer as well. So that's the Pacific Ocean. Heading over to the Indian Ocean, and we were jumping around. We get very excited through here. Went all the way back up again. Now we've gone right back down. So this is pushing moisture towards Australia from the Indian Ocean. All of these models here are definitely not really across the line there. There's just one that's doing that, but they're all on this side of that neutral zone. So that indicates that we have a source of moisture from the northwest. Now it's getting to the part of the year where this here, it's a nice way of putting it. The monsoon takes over, and so this chart is not showing us, it's not showing us that it's likely to be dry or it's likely to be wetter than average. The monsoon is dictating what's happening. So we're getting into the months where this one is less important. In fact, I won't show it to you probably after the next 2 or 3 weeks because it's not relevant anymore until we go into next year and have a look what's going to happen next autumn onwards. So, but this is indicating that at the moment, we do have a nice little push of moisture from the northwest, and if we go back to here, we have seen the results of that in terms of the wet weather that has been coming through, particularly with this map here. And if we go to the weekly ones, you can really see it. It starts in here and it heads down into the south. So that's what is responsible for that. All right, let's have a look ahead. Here is the Bureau's forecast. It was issued on the 3rd, so this is yesterday. And this has October through to December. It's got lots of moisture coming into the west and through here. In fact, much of the country is seeing it. Now, the things I'm picking out from here is this shading in through here indicates that not a lot of cold fronts are going to be coming through. The rain comes to the western parts of Tasmania from cold fronts, so that indicates less cold fronts. This might indicate more of these slow-moving cut-off low-pressure systems that deliver rain to everyone in their path, but also the troughs that move in with those and deliver that rain. All about getting those high-pressure systems to either split to allow that connection to happen, or to cradle that connection. When you get a high pressure system that's doing this with a trough coming straight down the middle, if you're east of that trough line, all of that juicy moisture comes down into here and turns into rain that is slow moving and soaking. So this indicates that the lack of cold fronts, maybe instead it'll be troughs and low pressure systems. And if we can get a cradling high, then if you're wanting rain, then everyone is happy. Okay, so that's the Australian forecast. If we go to the Euro model, it is the 4th of October, but it still hasn't processed. We're still back on the September one. So this is now a month old, and it is showing that, yes, we've got the greens across the country as well. Not a political thing. I'm talking more about wet weather. So this one indicates higher than average chance of wet weather. This one indicates higher than average chance of wet weather. If we head to Canada, that is also still back in September, higher than average chance of wet weather. Heading over to this one, which is the USA, which is still doing this thing where it's got, so this is current modelling, it has still got drier than average across the north there. It does still have this green, so it's been doing that week after week now. So that indicates that this model really likes that happening. But again, we have no real consensus. We like to have consensus. It gives us higher confidence. We have no real consensus between the other models and that one. All right, let's whip around the country. We'll start with Brisbane. And first thing I want you to notice is our storm icons got a little bit of an upgrade overnight, and now they stand out, which is a good idea, so they're the darker colour. Having a look at temperatures here, very mid-range today, jumping up tomorrow, 33 by the time we move into Sunday. Storms are possible there. So let's jump through to Sunday and have a look at that. We'll expand it out with our Pro toggle there. 1, 2 models. That's the only bits that like it. So thunderstorms are a risk on Sunday afternoon in the Brisbane area. We've got a bit of cloud with those there. Otherwise, it's quite sunny, and 2 out of the 4 models like those storms. So that's what we're looking at on Sunday. Moving into Monday, back to dry weather. Going into Tuesday, this is more like it, 1 to 19 millimetres. That's all 4 models that like at least something, averaging out at 9 millimetres. So could be up to 20. That's the biggest rainfall range predicted. Could be as low as 1. That's the lowest part of that rainfall range. We're looking at showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, continuing into Wednesday. Now, the things that stand out there, if you have a look at Wednesday, 0 to 32 millimetres. So a huge range. One model really doesn't like it. Another model really, really likes it. And it's obviously the Australian model, that is the yellow one. And so it is liking big storms overnight and then again in the afternoon on Wednesday. So one model is very keen on stormy action in Brisbane as we move through the middle of next week. The Euro model, which is a green one here, does like a fair bit of wet weather. The GFS, which is the USA, the purple one, that likes it as well, but Canada is sitting on the fence there, not liking that so far. So keep up to date with what those models are suggesting as that gets closer. Let's head down. We're going to Sydney. We've got 21, 25, 27, 27. Big dip as we go into next Tuesday. So let's pull that out there. So here's our warmth on Monday. The cool change arrives pretty much right on midnight. That's when you'll hear it rattling the windows. The southerly is there. It's moving through. It is strong, and that brings wet weather with it. So as we go into Tuesday, that's a big decrease in temperature for our friends in Sydney. So big change from Monday into Tuesday next week. In terms of wet weather, it's not huge amounts. This one's got 1 to 2 millimetres as the range. So you'll feel the wind, you'll feel the cool air. There will be showers passing through, but they won't add up to very much. So that's what we've got for Sydney. Let's head into Melbourne. I'll just skip back to the start in through here. So today we had the early patchy rain that came through. Now temperatures rise back once again in the sunny break that we've got. I was predicting 24. It's still 24 this morning. Bureau's still on 23, but they get their guidance from yesterday. We've got a northerly. It is gusty. We've got severe weather warning across the ranges and the outer northern suburbs of Melbourne for damaging wind gusts. But here is the main event. It is mid to late afternoon that begins and continues into the early evening. 80, 80, 80. That is 3 hours where all 4 models like this wet weather activity. 1 to 10 millimetres is what they have. If you are directly underneath the storm tonight, late afternoon into the early evening, then that can bring damaging wind gusts and it could bring a very big fall. So across the area, I wouldn't expect widespread high wet weather values, but the odd one in through there where the storms actually hit, that's where the big falls will be. So that's what we've got this afternoon. Heading into Saturday, cold front coming through. You'll feel it arrive late morning and then it is a wet afternoon. Again, 80, 80, 80. All 4 models like it. We have high confidence this is coming in. This is a cold front crossing the southeast of the country. It has no connection to tropical moisture. So if you are north of the ranges, these falls will taper off as you head further northwards because there's no support from the north there. So that's what we've got on Saturday. That continues into Sunday morning. That's just one model that likes it later in the day on Sunday. On Monday, you guessed it, another cold front coming through. This is the one that has the cold air behind it. So we've got all of our showers coming in. Winds turn properly southwesterly. And the chill is there on Tuesday, top of about 14. And then here is our frosty start as we go into Wednesday morning. Heading into Adelaide, here we have a bit of a murky weekend, you could call it that. Temperatures are just in the high teens, cold front after cold front after cold front, not really taking a direct hit. So the rainfalls aren't overly big. 4 on Saturday though, which is a 2 to 6 millimetre as the range. So showers coming in, showers coming in, showers coming in, and you guessed it on Monday, showers coming in, but then that's when we head into the cold start and we'll have another sunny break in there and temperatures rapidly rise into the middle of next week before the next weather system comes through. And just to finish off, over in the west of the country, here we have Perth here. We are remaining on the mild side, the cool side really, for the next couple of days because that high pressure is sitting out to the west and it's just moving over the top, so nothing warm at the moment. Skip to Monday, high pressure just moves to the east, winds turn northeasterly. You've got all that warmth up the top there, so temperatures jump up. But then there's not really a lot coming through here. Let me just move my head out of the way. The average rain over the next week is 4 millimetres, so it is not a lot coming through here. Perth, missing out at the moment. The southwest is in a fairly quiet part of it. All right, that's it from me for now. I will see you again next Friday. But as always, head to janesweather.com where you can get the latest information for your particular spot. And do let us know what you think about our new rain maps. See you next week. Bye.